What's up, guys? Nick from the Wyld Stallions here with you. And joining me tonight, the one, the only, Derek Long, the founder of the Wyld Stallions.
Pterodactyl. Yeah. Hello and welcome everybody. We are live tonight with you from the Michigan Biker Law Studios.
Yeah,
Yep. It's,
they need to send a logo over so we can put it
yeah,
wherever
yeah,
that
somewhere.
right there.
No. How's everything tonight? How's everybody doing? So let's talk about our trip. I hope everybody that is paying attention, anybody who has been paying attention, seeing we went to Milwaukee for our Mama tried the festival. That's what I found out. Like, it's not just like a show. It's like any Midwest festival. It's just like a 4-day event. Like they start on Wednesday and Thursday they have events, and Friday they got events, and Saturday they got events. It's all over town. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's like
That
a
I did. It's
4-H
not just a
fair with
show. It's funny.
choppers.
Yeah, I mean, and you could go and you could go to the show and then take the bus to the Harley Museum and then take the bus back to the show. I mean, I thought that was cool in itself. Like just a school bus. Like hop on, they'll drive you over there, and then you hop back on, they take you back there. So
Yeah,
that
the shuttle
was
service is pretty neat.
yeah. And I mean, like I almost just did it, say I did it, but you know,
Hmm. So yeah, it was definitely a good time, fun trip. Um, we got there Friday. Oh,
yeah.
what time did we get to town? We it was
I
about
don't know. We lost
three,
an hour.
three
Get
thirty,
there.
4 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah, it was somewhere around there. Got the room, got everything around, and then started figuring out what we were gonna get into. Um, Pretty much, and packed up and went to head towards downtown so we get to Flat Out Friday, which again was a whole nother thing that I didn't understand what we were going into. I thought we were going into like some small industrial style back. I've seen that mini bike races in like open old manufacturing buildings and stuff like that, and that's what I kind of thought we were going to do. Little did I know that we went to the Pfizer forum, and it's like
Yeah,
the Fisher with a V, a Fisher,
yeah,
Fiverr, I don't know,
Fiserv. I don't know how they pronounce it, but yeah,
Pfizer,
it's very weird.
but it's where the Bucks play. So a sports arena, and the fact that they sold this out for you know, flat track and mini bikes and, funny races and motorcycles and people dressed up like dinosaurs, and it amazed me how many tickets were sold. It's like I I really in what I thought we were going to into what we went into a pro basketball arena and it was full. So, I mean, there had to have been, you think, 10,000 plus people that have been were at this event watching, and even the kids races. That was great. I mean, like you looking at little kids dressed up like Evil Knievel and Superman and stuff like that, doing bikes around the track in a pro sports arena. It just brings a freaking giggle to your face, Like, look at them; they're having the time of their life out there riding around. And it's like, and somebody was able to make that happen. I think that's great.
Yeah. So yeah, there's easily 10,000 people um, there in the arena. It was. I think they had the upper deck sealed off, but there was still the lower bowl. I mean, a shit ton of people.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, that was really neat, and yeah,
hmm
I'd never done that before. You'd never done that before.
This was
Um,
my first time to Milwaukee,
yeah,
and I said it to you a couple of times, but like I said, like Milwaukee felt very normal to me. It felt very Midwestern, right in my kind of area. Like the houses look the same, the buildings all look the same. Milwaukee just looked to me like a grown up Lansing, like a bigger scale of a Lansing. There are different, stuff, but it's the same. It just like the architecture, the stuff looked, I mean, it was very home feeling. So, I mean, it didn't feel out of place being there either. Um, but like, yeah, we go and we pull in, and the first thing, freaking car on fire, just
Oh yeah,
taking up the whole highway on the other side. It just started too, because there was like a cop just pulled up on the back of it, and people were still going by. And I just you turn your head to the other side, and you see downtown Milwaukee, on the one side, and you see a car fire to the left. I mean, welcome to Milwaukee. Here we are.
yeah. That was pretty crazy.
Oh,
Good.
I know. And then like it was still popping and blowing when we went by because if I there's a video that I shared, and if you listen, it's like that was like a large. It was probably the brick line blowing because of the pressure it had been at for a while. It was just blowing pressure off, but I don't know what else really how much farther a car fire can get, but that thing was fully engulfed. So,
Yeah. Probably won't buff out.
no, I
So
mean, you're not gonna put that up on the net and say that it needs brakes and get some sucker to pay for it, and that ain't gonna happen.
yeah.
But, I mean, for flat out being what it is, it was great. I mean, it was a great time. I mean, I was kinda, like, going into it thinking, "Oh, I don't really know if this is what I thought it was gonna be," because like I said, I was looking maybe it's gonna be like an industrial building and stuff. Because I seen and that's another thing that we have found out since then. There are mini bike races all over Milwaukee in different parts of the day during different parts of the weekend. So you don't know I didn't know where mini bike race was happening at what time or where. They had it at the Harley Davidson Museum on Thursday to kick the weekend off. They had it at, the one bar on that night. They had another one after Flat Out. It was like
I didn't know they had that many people that were into mini bike racing.
you haven't been keeping track?
Apparently not. I'm out of the loop.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, I grew around, so I just thought you would know all about that.
Groms are different.
Uh, it's got 2 wheels, so does that mean, like, it's like every other thing that's got 2 wheels?
You don't pull start a Grom.
Oh, okay. So you're in one of those clubs then.
An elitist. Yes, a mini bike elitist.
Yes. Uh, but I mean, like, for what it is, I mean, yeah, they're a great show. I mean, I'm glad that, Brian Salty Badger kinda threw that up at us that, it's something that we had to do because we weren't planning on going on Friday. We were gonna go Saturday or just kinda see what was what. We weren't planning on going there. It was like we even threw the idea around after the fact that we knew about it, like, should we? Should we not? Are we going? Are we not? Maybe we just see what it is. But when we're pulling in the park and it's like you got the alert that there was only 7 more tickets left out of the whole arena, so obviously they did quite well. That's a good night if you're selling out a sports arena to run around mini bikes and, a couch that looks like, or a chair turned into a mini bike and all that. The log was really cool even though, I think it was kinda corny, but you get into that, like, it was fun. The balloon race, there was they had 2 of them. Remember? The
Yeah,
balloon race where they had the 2 teams, it reminded me of, like, yeah, Mario Kart, where you had, like, the balloon on top of your head, you had to knock it off.
right.
That looked, like a fucking riot, so, you know, it grew on me. It made, I went in like, "Oh, it's all this, huge event and all that. I don't know if it's gonna be what I thought." It kinda like a Corvette car show. I thought it was gonna be like a, "Ooh, don't look but don't touch" kinda thing, but no, it was real fun. So I'm glad we went to it. I mean, that was a great Friday night. I mean, just going to that, seeing people, and shit, just going through it and seeing people from different areas of the country know that came up to go to Milwaukee to go to that. It's kind of like, yeah, you got to go to Flat Out if you're going to Milwaukee. I guess that we didn't know it was like a whole 4-day event like it is.
Right.
So, I mean, Thursday came out with mini bikes at the museum. We didn't even get to the museum until Saturday. So, I mean, they had stuff going on before we even thought about it.
Yeah. A little bit of advice: don't try to take your knives in to the Pfizer Center, and don't try to take your GoPro in. They
Oh
do
yeah,
not.
yeah,
They
yeah.
do not
Oh,
like that shit.
I forgot to tell you. The dude that was with Cameron, he only had to check his. So they held on to it in the front and he just went there after the fact. And I'm like, "Oh, no, they made us walk back out and go put it
Yeah,
in the van." He
that
was like,
fucker
"No,
told
I told
me.
him." And he told that dude, he was like, "Oh, are you shitting me? I mean, yeah, it's GoPro, but I can take as good of photos on my goddamn phone." "No, no, we gotta take it from you." They did a whole like lost and found scenario where he had to go check it in. He just went back to security and got it at the end.
Yeah, they
But
told me that I had to take it back to the van or lose it. And I was like, well, no, I got. I don't want to say how much money I got in that camera equipment in case my old lady's watching, but enough that I wasn't about to give it up.
mhm.
So
But so sorry for anybody that's seen the videos that we've shared from that event because we had to take them on our poor quality phones that they allowed us to take in because of our professional photography equipment got stopped at the door and we had to turn it around. So I mean, for what it is, I don't think it's that
professional.
bad.
No, 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 it's not
Professional.
bad. That's what I told them when they were telling me that shit. I said, man, I can take just as good video on my phone. Like the fuck.
Hmm.
So it was just an
So
inconvenience.
I wonder if I could have got in there with like a gimbal. Is that something if it attaches to my phone and does all that? Where's that line draw? I mean, like you can take good photos on your phone and work them real well. So like where does the professional photography stop with your phone and go to a different it just you can't talk on it no more? Is that what it is? When you can't talk on it, then it becomes something that they don't have. So,
I could live stream on both of those cameras if I wanted to, so I guess technically I could talk on it.
well, maybe that's what you should have just walked in fucking talking on it and just acted like it was your phone and
Uh, uh, anyway, yeah, no, Flat Out Friday, this was really cool. And I grew up going to flat track racing over Lima, Ohio, so seeing it indoors is totally different than what I was used to.
I mean, even though it was a pro arena, I mean, it's still a small track
Oh, yeah.
when they get it all put together. I mean, it's what it is. But I mean, yeah, and so they must scrape all that shit off of there too, right? Because they put down a layer of
What do they call it,
whatever
Dr.
that
Pepper?
guy's Dr. Pepper and some other mixture, and then he worked it in with the trike for a while, and so it's a layer. You could see it was almost a layer on it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be the person to have to scrape that off. So I'm glad that like that's not my job.
Yeah, that was, yeah, I think the main race, Ash was sitting there and she's like, I would get dizzy doing this because
Hmm.
I don't think they came straight up until the end, and you're going 30 laps, around that
Yeah.
track.
Hmm.
Like they had to be dizzy as shit at the end of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just watching it kind of,
Yeah, right.
you're just trying to keep track of it. I don't know. Maybe it comes with time. But I mean, great Friday night. We worked right into I to a very me and Frank had a very over pushy um eh, breakfast attendant at the thing. And I told you this story, but I just still think it's like I still don't know what it was doing. He wanted me to have a freaking bowl of milk. So he poured me a bowl of milk and then like he barely understood English. I don't know what am I supposed to do with this bowl of milk. I added stuff to it and I microwaved it like instant oats and I'm like, ah, thanks for the freaking bowl of milk. It was a mess, man. He was like slamming, like the shit's all janky. So he like the only person that knows how to do it. So he just like floats over the whole little room, like slapping the equipment to make sure that the waffle maker works and hitting the damn toaster down to make sure it's locked in place. Like really, oh, I'll show you. He just kind of just right in your way and slapping the freaking you. I'll show you.
Yeah, he
It was
was
funny, but
unique. What?
so I mean, we went to the Harley Davidson Museum, and you've been there, right? You've been to the Harley Davidson Museum once
Yeah.
before.
Yep.
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I'll tell you that.
Okay. What'd you think it was going to be?
It was too clean for me.
Too clean?
Yeah. So I was in picture, and we were going into an old building that they had been part of the factory that is still like they've designated for an area for their bikes, not that they have an area that it's all, you know, shiny new and, you know, polished floors and it just wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting to go to like an old machinery or like factory, where they had converted it into a museum, not a place built to,
Not a.
showcase the bikes, a place that showcased the bikes, but was also part of the previous buildings that Harley had in the area. Like they don't even have any Milwaukee base. It's just outside anymore. So like I thought it was just an old area and it might be where something was, but it's a new building in comparison to the timeline.
Yeah. Yeah. It
So,
was. It's a purpose built building for the museum.
yeah.
So yeah, it's
And I don't know. Where's all the money go? I don't know. Let's just cancel homecoming. That's what happens.
right.
That's the problem.
They got a lot of money off of us that day. They had
Yeah.
the hell was that um closeout sale or something. We spent $114. I told Ash, I said, we will never get this much Harley gear for $114 again, ever.
I mean, I bought it was 150, but I got a coat, two long sleeves, a sweatshirt, two shirts, two hats, and the poster that they gave us. But I mean, decent amount of. And there's something else I can't think. There's some. Oh, that was a main store, but we got the um. It's not a poster. It's a fuck. What is that?
Banner?
Yes,
Uh,
thank you.
oh,
God damn. Knew it would come to me some week. Fuck. But I mean, I like the museum. Okay, I love history, so I like when I'm thinking about going to a place. I just thought it was going to be like a part of an old factory that they had repurposed for a museum, not a purpose-built building to showcase bikes that they're they're very on the early years, but then it's like right around somewhere around 50, they're early 60, they're like, oh yeah, we didn't have any time period right there. We're gonna pick up sometime right around 2012 again, and we're gonna tell you a little bit about what we got going on right now. But other than that, it's like really big into the really early years, and then it was just like, hey, but I mean, like, what bike could you say, like, out of everything that you've seen there, what bike would you say was your favorite bike there?
Favorite bike?
Yeah, you see one
I
out of like the whole museum that you were particularly fond of besides the coin operated honk rev machine that
did
was in the child play area you got on?
did that make it into your video?
If not, I have it on video if anybody would
I
like a
was
copy of it
I
for
was gonna
any potential future um if you try to go into politics or anything. So I
yeah.
mean, I'll have it.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. But there was downstairs. Uh, it was just a prototype, but it was like a Harley Goldwing.
Oh, the 4-cylinder
Yeah. Yep.
big V?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
I'd never seen that before. So I mean, I didn't think it was like. I mean, it looked like a fucking Goldwing. I didn't think it was that cool, but it
Well, I
was.
mean, it was, Porsche help, so it was like them before V-Rod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was like late '80s, early '90s, I don't remember the date on it, prototype that they never did anything with.
Yeah. That's it was. I'd never seen that before. And I think Frank was there, and I was like, "Look at this shit. This looks like a Goldwing."
Yeah,
And I mean, that's
mhm. It
neat.
was big. It was big.
Yeah.
It was it woulda hurt your back. Try
Well,
doing a tough guy pose with that fucker.
I sleep funny and my back hurts.
Yeah. I really enjoyed looking at those, board track racers in the board track that they had built. Like I said, I really like that period of board track and all that and the history of that. Back when it was like, that shit was fucking really dangerous. Like, people died regularly doing that, and it was
Yeah.
like that's why they banned it because people were dying all the time and people were still showing up and they were like, hell, we're selling tickets, we're going to keep racing on these tracks. But stories of like boards popping loose and popping up and people hitting them going 100 with no brakes, and you know one of it, like, they didn't care until like spectators started dying because like they would hang over the edge, and those things were as bold as like that wall that they have in the museum, and people would hang off of it. So when somebody slid up and off of that, there was like a group of people who died. And then it was like, you know what, boys, you had your fun. You're done board track racing anymore. You hoonigans, get off of my land and go somewhere else. And you killed little Miss May and little Susie, so more fun and games. But the shit was, I mean, it was like a whole thing, and they were doing the Indian versus Harley racers at that time, which was like a big build up on how it was. I mean, it's a whole timeline of events to really build that where Harley was the underdog at that time. So like for them to build the wrecking crew and go out there and make a name for themselves, and like they went out and like got the talent and brought them over and stuff because they met business back then. They were putting it towards, hey, we want to be in this. This is where we need to be. And they put together a team to do that. And I mean, that's a fun story to hear and be able to like look back on and shit. So like that area of the museum and everything, the board track on one side and the hill climbers on the other. So that was pretty much the room that I really enjoyed.
And that's yeah. Did you go underneath the board track and see
Yeah,
all
he didn't
the?
go around. Frank was really excited because he said there was an advertisement for a race, and it was a place in Southern California that his grandpa used to race at all the time because his mom's from that area. So it was one of those, Harley wins this race at blah blah blah, and it was that same track that grandpa used to race at. It was, I don't know how old then time period, but it probably was, same track, just afterboard track and shit like that. So it probably went to be in a like a uh dirt track after that, I'd say.
Hmm.
They never had to have been. But they did have, I mean, we did see a Detroit Randy had a spot in there, which I mean, he's great to us and everything. He's a great guy, you know. Even people seeing the fact that I had a ring on while we were at Mama Tried, what? And it just happens to be, Kevin Teach Bass, who somebody that I've respected in the industry for 20 something years. He's like, "Oh, I'm Kevin." I'm like, I kind of know who you are, but I I've been watching you since like he's like, and Frank's like, "Oh, you from here?" He's like, "Well, I'm originally from here." But I'm like, yeah, I've fucking known or fucking Kevin Teach since before he was Kevin Teach. It was just he was like Bass products or something like that. He did a small product line back early 2000s, somewhere around there before he went out to Minneapolis area outskirts. But that's a whole story. I mean, I really like how that whole thing goes. Like he's teaching kids how to build choppers in schools so they can like have hands-on, work and build something. And he gets like all kinds of like I don't want to say grants for it, but he does get help and assistance. And with doing something like that, I mean, to be able to uh go and not financially be burdened on it and be able to bring that to the kids of that class and stuff and the machines and have them work through it and just up in that area. I mean, even like where I'm from and stuff, there's lots of machining still going on. So when you're learning it and you got to grab their attention because you're not just going to start talking tenths and thousands and you know machinist numbers to these children because they ain't gonna really want to listen. But when you're talking like, hey, let's build a killer chopper, it's like, yes, I'll pay attention. Then you can send them out and they can do, reading measurements and doing stuff like that. But you trick them into doing it almost. So I think that's fucking great. But Detroit Randy does have a spot. He helped curate some of that part of the museum, and I mean, if you guys haven't been to the damn show, it's a nice, intimate show down in Detroit in the New Center area that Randy puts a lot of effort into. And just in general, he's a great dude. And he does his damn show in multiple other places. Sturgis, he's done it in Daytona, he's done it in Italy, he's done it, stuff like that. To the point where, like, Harley's like, hey, come put on one of your damn shows up here in Sturgis for us and stuff like that. So I mean, to meet other people like Kevin there, he didn't have a Detroit damn show like the one I had. He's got one from Sturgis, and just like Frankie, he's got one from Sturgis, and he's got one from uh coming from when it was in Detroit, but he didn't have it with him. But he does have two. But I mean, for somebody to see it and like automatically want to know, like, oh, Randy also because of a ring on my hand, and like instant brotherhood right there to be like, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? How are you? It's just another part of this community that I mean, like, we try to shine a light on and stuff like that. We went all the way to Milwaukee. I met somebody that I'd looked up to in a sort in the industry, and he wanted to talk to me because I had a damn show ring. So
Right.
I mean, that's cool. Where Randy was able to do that connection because it's Randy. It's just who he is, and he's like I said, to him to put in something to do with a um something for the Harley Museum wasn't really that he it it wasn't out of the realm for him because he does do his whole he's a history major. He went to school, he's got a whole exhibit that he's already had before he started doing his shows and stuff like that. So for him to team with them to be able to put something on was Not surprising.
Yeah.
But I mean, I gotta say this though. We okay, so to get a reservation at the what do they call it at the Harley Museum, the restaurant?
Oh,
It was
I don't
something
remember.
Moto or something. For as long as the amount of time that you would have to put in a reservation to eat there, it wasn't worth the wait. Now, the food was good, but it wasn't like, "Hey, you know what I need to do? Tell everybody else to come here and read fucking letter home to my mom about this meal."
Yeah.
It was like, okay. It was like if I'm going to the Harley Museum and I was like, "Oh, fuck, man." They they it was good, but it wasn't like we coulda went around the goddamn corner and, you know, probably spent less money, but I guess we got the whole experience. We froze while trying to look at the, statue that's out by the river.
Yeah, I didn't even try that. I said, yeah, you guys can go do that. Didn't even
Yep.
try. Just cold as shit.
Um, we did the museum tour after making our reservation for, our lunch date. We went into the museum at 10 o'clock, making a 1 o'clock reservation. So, an amount of time, and then they due to the fact that it's Mama Tried weekend, they also were having the sales for stuff at, which, I mean, I can't they didn't say only for Mama Tried, so, I mean, it's a multi-use board that was out by it just said, "This weekend only, everything for sale in the outlet center," so, I mean, could have
Yeah.
been that it was for Mama Tried, it could be they just drag that son of a bitch out every couple of weeks, and the people that come through town don't know the goddamn difference, so
Right. Right.
"Oh, shit, everything's on sale, let's go buy it." And they're, like, laughing all the way to the bank, canceling fricking homecoming, fucking crying about the cash.
Hmm.
I don't know why. We're not in tune with any of our customer base, but we don't know why we're losing percentages every year. Let's get rid of fricking homecoming, that's the problem. And then let's just liquidate all of our inventory. And then we'll put more inventory on from another artist, and we'll still try to charge $130 for a shirt.
Hey,
And then we'll be like, "Hey,
that
why the fuck
$20
did."
jacket Ashley got that was originally $210. That I'm pissed that I didn't
Mhm.
buy all of those and turn around and sell them on Marketplace.
There was people that I swear that's must have been what they were doing because you seen them. I told, Steph that it was like watching people shop at, like, an Aldi's. You have an Aldi's down
Oh
there?
yeah.
Like, yeah, so, like, shopping at a Aldi's where you have to, like, bag your own groceries and people, like, carry around the boxes so they can put their goods in the box to take out to their car with them. So, like, it was like that because they were throwing shit up onto the tables, and people were like, "You done with that box?" And, yeah, and then the people just pulling boxes around behind them and kicking boxes around. I seriously walked into 2 people that were kicking fucking boxes in front of them as they were walking around because I'm looking over here, or thinking about the goddamn squirrel I seen that morning, and it's like, bam, fucking box because 'cause they're kicking it, they're, sliding it on the floor, while they're also not paying attention and thinking about whatever, thing they couldn't think about the time period of right now. But when you look at I don't know about your sizes, but when you start looking into my sizes, it's fucking like they had 3 items, so, I mean, and it went quick.
I'm a full size adult, so yeah, I wear an extra
Mhm.
large.
Yeah. You can tell
And
by the photo that you took, with us, on the top of the Temple Theater there.
I seriously don't realize how big I a.m. until I'm, yeah, see pictures. So I am like a mini ogre. But yeah, no, they had quite a few. I think I got like three T-shirts. They didn't have any flannels or hoodies that.
I mean, yeah, they had T-shirts that
Mm,
were in large, but like they had like three good designs. But like the shit that was real, like you probably wear the what is it like the weird off colors or the Christmas
yeah,
editions or the Halloween or the whatevers. Those were either way too small or extra extra large. So even though it's in the color whatever, it's a black shirt or in a good, the I'm not gonna buy the extra extra large and then never wear it. So I got two shirts. I like the long sleeve dress shirt that I got. But it came in handy because I had a business meeting on Monday and I didn't know what I was gonna wear and I was like, hey, guess what? Past Derek came through for present Derek this time.
about fucking time.
He bought an
About
outfit
time.
for you to wear. It's like, "Oh, you either need this for a meeting or court, so you better just pick it up." Yeah, it's like, "You're right, Derek. Let's get this."
Right.
So, I mean, museum, good time. Obviously, you gotta go there. You gotta, like, see it. You gotta go through it.
I
It
mean,
just
for
wasn't.
25 bucks,
No, it wasn't.
you
It's
can't
not
really beat
bad
it.
price either.
Yeah.
Now, I am interested in what they were doing for the 25 for the tour of the factory on top of the museum.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I found out that there's no, like, right in that general facility, a manufacturing. There's not a, so you what, drive outskirts to go to? I don't know what would have happened in that.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know. You would have.
but museum, check. Good time. Hey, did you see that, I'll get back with you on that. But, from there, we went to the Temple Theater, which is also named The Rave, for the show Mama Tried. So, it was a whole, event that I wasn't it was the biggest show that we've went to show-wise since we've been going to shows. Like we've been to Mansfield, we've been to Pittsburgh, we've been, you know, and for I was really surprised in what when you look at the building on the outside and you think that they have like an area for live music in there, it's like I didn't understand that there's still four floors of that place.
Yeah.
And then there's that so I call it 4.5 floors because there's, like, that little bar that, off to the side. It's not like a full floor, but it is, like, got the patio where you can go and overlook the city, and it had a bar that there were still people out there. I guess it is Milwaukee. Everybody, sitting there drinking and all that. Just you could smoke there, so they were just hanging out. But I just stumbled upon that. I didn't even know what I was going, and I just somebody came down the stairs and I was like, "Oh, fuck, what's up that way? I'll go see." And it was just like, boom, little bar with the overhang to the downtown view. It was pretty cool. And I, at that time, didn't have my phone because it died because I'd probably already taken 500 photos by this time because we were already at the museum. We were already walked around the show probably, for a couple hours and stuff. But for what it is, I mean, I could have walked around that show 15 times and still spotted something new, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was fucking packed, but like I don't know that I would have liked it in a different venue. If a different venue comes with more space but less character, then the venue isn't worth it to me.
Yeah.
Like now, like we go back to like a Pittsburgh story there, like leaving the foundry to go to the brewery. it worked, but to go from where they are now in the rave, which 4 stories tall, and, and it was still packed walking through, just bumping. But I just don't think that in that area that y- you'd be hard pressed to find a better location than that kind of a scenario. That's a great location. It's a beautiful building inside. The outskirts of the building are, you don't know what you're walking into because there's literally garbage all over the goddamn street and shit. But it's like you go into this beautiful auditorium where they must have had beautiful opera plays back in the day and stuff, and it's still like a portion of old city, Milwaukee, and they're having a fucking motorcycle show here. A bunch of degenerates hanging out, fucking selling their wares and fucking, looking at fucking motorcycles that are impractical to ride, but fucking we try to do it anyway. That's fucking cool as shit. And like more vendors than I think I've seen at any one given show at at anything. And like to add on to what I was talking to you about earlier, there was multiple vendors there that we got there and there'd been a show for 4 something hours.
Yeah.
That's it. And they were out of Mama Tried merchandise pretty much immediately. And so I got the last large black shirt that they had. Frankie got the last white large shirt they had. They didn't have that extra large nothing, and you came up right behind us, and they didn't even have a shirt.
Yeah.
So,
And we stood in line for it was at least a half an hour, and by the time we got to the front, they had nothing in extra large, as I was only able to get this hat.
mhm.
So waiting for it to drop on their website, and I'll grab a shirt or two.
Now let me take a pause there. When you we walked into the rave or whatever on that floor, and you seen all the artists that they had all of their signatures and all the pictures. So you see that there?
Uh-oh.
You know, when we first came in, I think like the
Oh
where
yeah,
the vendor
yeah,
started,
yeah.
right?
They had
Like,
Tupac up on the wall.
yeah, they had a big one there, and then they had a bunch of different artists. So while you were standing there waiting for your merchandise in that line, think of all of the amazing artists that had stood on that same stage. There, this place being a live music venue since like the '60s.
Yeah,
Just that's like the place for live music if they're not selling out the Forum, which is like where the Flat Out Friday was. But you're looking at like a huge event. I don't know that per concert to what you would be able to fit in the rave to what you would be able to fit in half of the fives or Forum, because they'd probably have to cut it off for the stage, would be that much different in capacity, to be honest. Like, it's a pretty big place.
it is a big venue.
So like yeah, but there was multiple vendors as I walked around when we were just getting to the building, and about an hour later that I said we came with so much more stuff, but we sold out at everything. This show was a show for like 4.5 hours before we got there, and everybody was out of everything. So like the fucking show was packed. The fucking merchandise sales were fucking obviously great. And everything else, I mean, they had one hell of a day. I mean, like, for the people who put it into it, and I know, like, we put in for what we put into a show, but for what that would be in, comparison, that'd be teams and all that shit. They s- they must have had a grand day still, though.
Yeah,
So, I mean, like, to be able to see something like that and be able to see it through must be just like a whole like event. I know I get worked up. Like, hopefully, people are liking what we're doing. That's a fucking undertaking. So, you know, kudos to them. A great show. I mean, we I seen Daniel again there. Daniel Sandoval was there again. I didn't get to talk to him. He was getting ready to get a tattoo done. So next time I'm around him, I'm looking to sit down, have a bite to eat, and actually talk about business stuff with that guy because we're always in passing and stuff. See him at the damn show. Now seeing him in Milwaukee, it's just we can just never sit down. So that's something I'm gonna have to get to. Uh, uh, but the venue is pretty much all we've talked about so far. But I mean, for what it is in a show, I mean, they're great bikes. They throw all different kinds of stuff in it. So I guess the electric chopper, with the chrome prism and all that, that was a gas monkey garage, you know, unit. That's why Richard Rawlings was there in the morning on Saturday. Um, I didn't see him at all. I didn't know the dude was there. Like, didn't know. And but I mean, lots of other people that we did know, other people we were bumping into and stuff like that. I mean, we are now starting to be able to like see people at different shows that are also traveling to these shows that come from different parts of the country, and we know they're coming. So, like, we'll meet up with them. I mean, it was great for me to walk into the forum there on Flat Out Friday, and one of the first people I see is Daniel Sandoval, and like, it really made me feel like, oh, okay, this is going to be a great, event, and let's see what it's going to be. It was a great time too, but Mum tried for show. What bikes did you see that really stood out to you? Because I have three that I was really happy to see, and so like Yogi's Garage is there. He got the People's Choice Golden Gears. We seen that bike in Mansfield too. It's got the moped tank through the top of it, where it's got the bolted on scenario. It's swap meet. I think he's got it engraved on the top of the two heads, and so I mean, like I was happy to see that bike there because I mean, and they took those bikes over and they propped them up in front of um, the original, shed on the museum property and got shots with proper choppers in front of a Harley building. So, I love that. But, there was a stretched, pan there that was, blue and silver. It had some pullback bars on it and stuff. For what that was, I really enjoyed that one. I don't have a photo to share of it right now. And Slim Fab's trike was there, and I caught that late because it was surrounded when we came in. But like to be able to be shake that dude's hand and say, "I've been following you since you were freaking like." He started out doing little shits out of his backyard in the backyard of the trailer park, and it was like he had a little garage that was right off to it, and it was like New Mexico. It was like I started following him because he started doing crazy little shits where it was like he was making a trike 3-wheel drive with running a jack shaft off the rear wheel up and down through the frame and then off of the neck and down. So it was like a 3 powered scenario. But he always used, and that's it was never Harley engine. It's always like snowmobile engines or shit that he pulled out of the junkyard that was like a little Honda something or other, but he made the shit fucking sweet. Like that trike that he had there is like one head's a K, from a K model Sportster, pre Sportster, and the other one's something else. Like to go through to put that time into building something like that, and it's a crazy looking fucking out of this world 70s tripping fucking blow your mind kind of shit, that's cool. Like it's got the flat fucking or the slicks on the back of it, and it's all tight and shit. Like it's so small. it's impractical. I mean, it's silly, but he got a little girl when I was there to, "Do you wanna get on it and, sit on it and stuff like that?" And it almost looked normal size to her, and this chick, the little girl, Miley, was, like, 8, 9 years old, so, when it fit her, yes, it's a little thing, but, like, the engineering and time that went into doing something like that is, like, very respectable, very commendable about, like, wow, you put time into it. He's been doing it for 20 years when he was a punk living in, middle of New Mexico with a mohawk and a hat, the rest of his head was always shaved, and then he shaved his head and it was like, the skinny little dude wearing fucking Jinko jeans with a shaved head, and that's how I remember him from fucking 20 years ago. And he's like really caught on in the last, 5, almost 10 years or so, but like he's only bringing more complicated looking pieces of art chopper that, you know, I like more now even than what it was then. So I was glad to see that. So I know you kind of like wandered around. I kind of fucked off to, left field for a little bit and then found you later. So I mean, as you and Ash walked around, I didn't see if you, hung around one longer than another, or really spotted something that you really were taking design cues from.
There was I don't remember what year it was, but I think it was um, built by Fast Eddie's Co. or something like
Oh,
that.
Fast Eddie Speedco?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it was a shovel head, but I saw a lot of bikes having the exhaust exit out on the left side, the ugly side.
Mhm.
Um, and this bike was one of them, and it had dual carbs, but one carb was running off the exhaust, and the other was running off the intake, on the jugs.
So,
And
like,
I,
that's how they set up that 750 XR, or the 1000 XR was a, you know, inverted heads, and, so you're running 2 intakes and 2 exhausts, pretty much running a separated V-twin.
it was just wild to me. I stood there and was staring at it and staring at it, and I got a lot of video of it. Um, but the other thing was just wild, and I'm not real sure what the if that's a trend now, running the exhaust that way, but it's pretty neat.
If I could, figure it out, I always wanted to run exhaust one on one side, one on the other, 'cause I felt it would make it more balanced, but, you know, it's a common thing to it's, like, so norm that you're seeing, 2 flowing pipes on, one side, that it's, like, hard to get away from. It feels empty in space when you're not, doing it. Now, when you look at, the running under and back around on, like, or some of the very detailed baggers from the club baggers that are out of Milwaukee, or so, the very, um, Mexican style,
Oh,
almost,
the Vikla Cholo.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I do like some of that. I mean, it can be taken overboard. I mean, I'm very simplicity over excess when it comes to certain things, and when you get in too much going on, it almost will take away from it, and some of those get that way, but when I do see some with, pipes flowing on both sides where it's low and it's kinda like goes out to, a proper cut or so, a lot of those are fishtails, but, I mean, I just don't see in something I'm building right now that I'm gonna be able to make. I have a squash pipe if you wanna use it, but I don't think I can get through it, but
No, the 71 I have, that's going to be true duals like that, exiting both sides. So no, the show was cool. Like you said, it was packed. There were so many people.
Hmm.
Um, if we I feel like if we had went in the morning, there would be less people if we had went there first before the museum.
Yeah, I did see that, and when you were up getting merch is when I seen Daniel again, and he was sitting down on the stage up there to get his tattoo done, which was Jesus holding a V twin motor. So I mean, loved it. But it's he said, "Oh man, you really need to come in the morning. I could have, blah blah." He's, "Oh man, I'll talk to you. You go ahead and get your stuff done. Don't worry about it. I'll talk to you later." And then like I bumped into you like 4 times, and we were there together. I mean, like, to bump into somebody a couple of times in that show due to the quantity of the people and the bikes and all the vendors that were there. I mean, if somebody went in there one time and you were on one side of the room and the other, and you just kept fucking going the same kind of rate, you might not have ever seen each other.
Right.
But I mean, I'm looking forward to going back to Milwaukee. I mean, like, I really had a great time. Like, felt very at home. Like to it not have been. It's funny because it was like as we got there, the temperature just steadily dropped, like
Yeah.
every day and more and more. So it was like we got there, and we're not talking about a heat storm. We got there and it was like 32 degrees or something, and we left there and it was like 11. So yeah, it was just drastically continued to drop temperature every day, and then at night it was quite chilly. But I mean, it's Milwaukee in February.
Yeah.
Not much you could really hope for. And I seen a couple of locals that were out that they're really wearing, their whole Carhartt overalls and all that shit. And well, that's that's the norm, Like I put my Carhartt shit on when I'm going out to work. And it must be like we're just walking around fucking Milwaukee at night. Make sure you pack your stuff.
Yeah.
You're
Um,
not gonna be able to survive off your cheese rations you got in your pocket for very long. You gotta make sure you get somewhere. You only brought fucking 6 Paps with you to get fucking for the half a mile you're walking, so, yeah. But, I mean, Saturday, we pack a lot in the Saturday,
yeah.
like, a lot in the Saturday, and we could have did one or the other and still, like, even had more into one or the other.
Yeah.
Like, we coulda went to the museum and even spent some more time there. So, like but we had the show to go to, but, like, we coulda got to the show early and been there for another amount of time and, hit that, when it was, opening and shit like that. We still stood in a line when first got there, and like I said, they've been doing show for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So, um, to kinda get through, maybe we've been able to get some more of that, see what the vendors are really holding on to and stuff, one thing I do think that we really need to look into is seeing if we can get a media pass because then we'd be able to get in there on Friday and wander around with other media instead of breaking our way through the mass crowd and asking people if they could move their legs and stuff to get a just a shot. Like I took sideways shots just as I walked by because I was like
Yeah.
sliding through people on the way. And
They actually have a section on their website, on Mama Tried's website, about media passes and how
mhm,
they hate them and they only actually give out 6 of them. They said everybody wants one, but then nobody shows up to get them, and so we're gonna do giveaways, and
yeah,
so we'd have to write to them months in advance to try and get one and
yeah.
explain why.
We'll
But
just start hitting them up like every single day and be like, Hey, Tom, I know you've heard from me for the last 266 days. What do you think about that media pass, buddy? Got it going? And then
Okay, check
hopefully
back
you
with you
get one.
tomorrow.
Well, same time tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But I mean, when you're talking like getting something like that, it might be worth the time though.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, but to be able to go and go from here to Milwaukee, anywhere, but like to see people that we know that are from all around the country now, and they're all coming together on Milwaukee for a 4-day festival is like it just shows what motorcycles is really about. I mean, like now we're starting to see some of these people like every time we go to a show. Like I love seeing Cam and Nicole. Like those two are a fucking hoot and a holler. So like
I didn't get to see Cam's ass this weekend.
I know, nor do I know if he pulled it out at all. I'm gonna have to reach out. Is he sick? Is
I
there
was gonna,
something going on? Or was it really just that cold in Milwaukee over the weekend?
I was gonna say, is it really a bike show if Cam's ass isn't out?
Yeah. You know, I really love what him and Nicole do though. Like every show they will find a tattoo artist that's doing tattoos at the show. And then they get a tattoo matching of the show, the day, and like the logo. So like they are pretty much getting tattoos of every show that they've been to for, so their next one's going to be Tennessee Motorcycle and they'll get a tattoo there. But they got one at Mansfield and they got one in Pittsburgh and they got one in Milwaukee and they got one at another place. But like that's cool. I mean, that's cool as shit. Like you got somebody out there who's going to shows with you and fucking getting matching tattoos and shit, and they're fucking a hoot and a holler to hang out with. They're fucking, great.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I almost was like, yeah, maybe I'll just start getting some tattoos of, different shows and shit like that. They really do. They make it like a whole event because they were there on Thursday and they went to the Harley Davidson Museum. They were in Pittsburgh for a couple days or so before us. So like that's I'm I'm glad that they're fucking people. I fucking really enjoy them.
I'm glad they're people too.
You know, if they weren't, I mean, like, it'd be kind of weird. But I mean, so we went and we did all that big show. We went to, show for Motor Tried, and then like you got a message saying that we need to check out the domes, which
Yeah,
I uh happen to name affectionately named the ground titties.
I was gonna say yeah because they light up at night.
Yeah.
Is that where we're going tomorrow? The ground titties over there?
Yep. Because when you're on the highway getting off on that exit, it was like you only seen the two of them, and they're lighting up and blinking on the top of them, and I'm like, "Are those ground titties where we're going tomorrow?" Because I couldn't remember what it was because we went back and forth between domes and what
Mounds.
else? Mounds. Yeah, we
Yeah.
thought mounds or something. So yeah, we went back and forth on that. Now the domes for being a little Milwaukee funded project thing, like I think it was like super cool. Like the three
Mhm.
different domes with the three different styles of plants in each one. The one for like our region, the other one for the um the desert climate and stuff like that. And then you had the rainforest and shit like that. Frank was really happy when we got into the first one and there was all those little trains going
Little
around.
trains.
Yeah,
Oh, we should tell everybody that they are botanical gardens is what we were doing. They're called the domes of I can't some Mitchell Park domes, I believe.
yes.
Um,
They're they're the domes in Milwaukee. They're not the ground titties of Milwaukee or, you know, the tits with plants inside or whatever. They are a children's educational center. No, it's a really cool thing. Like they all year round you can go and visit these things. There were a bunch of families and stuff like that there, and then there was Frank and
well,
you know stuff like that. But it
that's what
was
I told Ash. I said, "This is so cool. We're here, and there's all these kids running around. There's old people, and then there's me and Derek and Frank, and we definitely
yeah,
stuck out."
yeah, and so like little train. I mean, but I was jealous as shit as that dude. All he does is play with trains all day and one of those fucking, you know, ground titties putting fucking trains on the goddamn thing, making sure they go back and forth. You son of a bitch. Like,
Yeah,
how do you get that job? Do I have to
best
go to
job
a
ever.
class? Jesus, fucking. He was just
Toy
smiling about it all day, rubbing it in her face. You fucking
toy
jackass.
train conductor school. That's what you got to do.
It's right next to the clown college in the strip mall.
Um, yeah, overall it was great. Great weekend.
Uh, so what was your favorite dome?
The one with all the trains in it. That was,
Of course, yeah, 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 yeah.
well, I mean, walking in there, the sun happened to be out in Milwaukee that day,
Hmm.
and you just it smelled like spring. It was like,
Yeah,
oh shit, we're
mhm,
so close to
yeah.
being out of this cold hell.
Well, that's why I like the tropical one. So I mean, like, not only man, I don't know how long that place been going on, but those trees that were inside of that tropical dome were ginormous. Like they must have transplanted them one way or another because those look like 100-plus-year-old trees.
Hmm.
Like they were huge. And like but it was like, yeah, it was a little warmer in there. You could kind of like they kept it warm because of the tropical plants in there and stuff. And it just like you saying that that reminded you of spring, that going into that room was giving me hope for spring because it was a little warmer and everything was green and these giant plants and stuff, just waiting for the leaves to pop out here so I don't have to keep staring at my neighbors' houses and shit, or they can stop staring at mine, vice versa. Either or,
Right.
I don't care. I want leaves back on the tree so I can go outside and ride my motorcycle and fucking play with my friends.
Do hood rat shit with my motorcycle friends.
I just want to do hood rat shit with my motorcycle friends. But you know what? I'll tell you what. For everything that we did, we we did flat out. We did the museum. We did the rave. We did the special spy bar that everybody was tired at, and there was a whole nother area that we didn't explore. But I tell you what, we did a good job because I tell you what, Frankie was tired. His play weekend, we kept him active the whole time, and that dude was tired on the ride home. He was passing out.
I think you both were asleep on the ride home.
I might have been, but I
I,
mean,
was, I almost leaned over to Ash and whispered, "Hey, the kids are asleep in the back. How about a little road ahead?"
yeah. And then, like, everything happens at that time, and we crash, and we didn't make it
Nah,
back.
it'd have been all right.
Well, we got through Chicago pretty quick. I mean, we got to see freaking the new home of the Chicago Bears and all of its grand light of the in between area of Gary and
Hammond.
South Hammond.
Yeah.
Smelly. So yeah. But I mean, Made it good time. I mean, like, we really didn't even have that much of a problem going through Chicago on the way through, like, going north. I mean, we hit a bump, but it wasn't anything like what I've sat in before.
Yeah,
And,
it really wasn't that bad.
you know, but so I mean, like, looking at that show scene with everything there, it really like shows me ideas like, I think I might try for a vendor spot next year to kind of see what's what, and be there and do all that. And I think that would really be worth my time to go there to try to sell wares and, stupid things and whatever else life tells me to do next. And if I can really enjoy that show again, maybe like get there on, Thursday and, do the Harley Davidson mini bike races and then like I don't know, unless there's something that's gonna be like outstanding that they're gonna put into the museum. I think that would be like I think I'll hit it with a homecoming every 5 years or something like that. I think that Harley already knows what they know.
I'd like to go back and just read. You could spend hours in there going over and reading everything.
Yeah. Yeah, just reading through. I mean, there were other little things you could do there that would have been nice to take a and just have the day for the one. And if it would have been a little warmer to like really be able to walk around and not run from one building to the other and stuff like that, it would have been fairly nice. And if we could have rode, that's would have been really the primary choice. Now, so I did come up with that while we were gone, and we started thinking about it. So we can ask now, but I think it should still be something that we post a question for the people who are there. So we've been now Cincinnati, we've been Pittsburgh, we've rode Pittsburgh, but like, is there any particular place that's not like the Dragon Tail or, something like that, but like a city riding that somebody would be like, you have to ride this city? Like, I'll probably ride Detroit coming up for probably the damn show and probably the Motor City Get Down. But like I know the streets down there fairly well. I'm not like gonna be coming across on it's very grid pattern, so it's not something that I think would be a prime city for like, while you have to go ride here. But, like, Pittsburgh, on the other hand, I think that's a city that if you aren't, like, knowing what you're you haven't rode city before, like, that's a different scenario altogether. The hills, the ups, the downs, the tunnels, you know, we went not even a couple of miles, and we probably, in from one space to the other, but we probably traveled 10 times that amount of distance because you go up, down, up,
Right.
down the whole way to get there. So it's like a walking a jagged back and forth line to get to from A to B. So, I mean, is there any city, and I don't think I'd ever want to ride New York. Like, that just doesn't seem like something I'd even want to have anything to do with, or LA for that matter. Maybe the outskirts, but not that, heavy traffic, small street shit. But is there a city that people ride? Now, maybe, Chicago would be a place. I think in Milwaukee would be somewhere I'd like to take, a ride in. Cincinnati was definitely somewhere I thought would be cool to, explore and ride. Is
Yeah.
there one American city that people can tell us that they're like, and gold star if it's a Midwestern city too, because that's where we're from and that's where we're about. But, you know, is there a city in the US that like people are just very fond of riding? Like that would be a question that I would like to pose.
Hmm.
So if anybody in the comments that watched it and want to touch back with us, even send me a message. Hey, this is something that I did at that time. Hit us up. Maybe that'd be something like that we'd be, if we're in the area for a show and stuff, that's why we rode Pittsburgh. That's why we rode Mansfield.
Yep.
But, you know, maybe there's the VFW show slash fish fry that we could, take a trip through and a particular side of Chicago that's particularly good for riding. You
Yeah, I don't know
never
about
know.
Chicago, but Milwaukee looks like it'd be fun to ride.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say, I mean, that'd be, like I said, it felt like home. So, I mean, it seemed like somewhere I want to ride anyway. Um, Even like running along the, like where the barges come in, because there's multiple rivers through Milwaukee that
Yeah.
all come in and stuff like that. So, like, to be able to ride over those bridges and be able to ride through, like, some of those neighborhoods and see what, like, we were for majority part of this trip downtown. Now, to me, you don't just gauge a town from its downtown area because, everything can look great when we polish a turd, but at the same time, what's the neighborhoods like?
Yeah.
So that's what I would also like to kind of venture into, like ride out, maybe even if we could meet with people at like, I will take you to the best pork chop sandwich this side of Lake Michigan. And we'll fucking be like, that sounds like a terrible idea. Do you have the bone in it still? Because that's how it's advertised. And maybe we get an answer to that question.
Yeah, you and that damn pork chop sandwich.
Like I said, I mean, if we were gonna hit fucking, we drove by it when we were in traffic, sitting there for a second, and that's where we got, hot pork chop sandwich, bone in pork chop sandwich, painted on the side of the building. So I'm like, okay, we hit traffic again. I'm gonna have to jump over that median and see if we can grab a couple of those because it's like right down in that bowl of the downtown area of Chicago where everybody decides they have to stop and take a photo or a selfie or whatever it is they fucking do there so they can fucking block traffic for the next 13 miles. You know what?
This,
I didn't put my eyeliner on this morning. Let me do it right now. And that's why Chicago traffic is the way it is.
uh,
Anyway, not much else. I mean, looking forward to it again. So looking at our calendar, I don't think that we really have anything that we're like, oh, that's the next show we're going to until Mansfield at this point. Now I know there's shit in between there and there's stuff we're gonna be doing, but at this time it's not at my fingertips.
yeah, Salty was asking in the YouTube chat about what's next on the schedule for us, and I'm pretty sure it's Mansfield.
I mean, that's
Um,
June. So I mean,
yeah,
like, yeah, I'm gonna have times that obviously I'm gonna be going to Steel Horse Ranch for their events, and there is a swap meet that I'll probably be a vendor at maybe in Novi. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I won't go to it at all. Hands up in the air. But we I do need to move some merchandise. So I mean, like, to get to them, the next one's in Cadillac, which we started at shot I'm at. We started the archway for the Cadillac rail trail, the white pine trail that will be installed hopefully before May. So um getting that rolling. So but there's a Cadillac swap, but I mean, Cadillac from here is fucking 4 hours. So, I mean, like, it's not, like, right around the corner from me.
damn.
So but, I mean, I hope everybody that's following along with us has either reached out or went to their local watering hole and got a Thunder Roads magazine of Michigan to see the cover of the Wild Stallions in our winter of 2025, Jay Bird's bike on the cover there. You will also see if you open inside of that, that all of our introductions that for our 12 builders that we have for this season all have an personalized introduction about who they are, what they're building, and what they think they're going to be bringing for the public vote, which is our finale in August 29th, that runs in conjunction with Owasso Vintage Motorcycle Days, August 29th, 2026. Be there or be square. You know who I'm talking to. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah. Yeah, you know why they call you a square? Because you're not around. Fix that.
Wow. Wow. That was excellent dad joke. Was not
Mhm.
expecting it.
I worked on it last night until
Yeah.
about 3 in the morning, and then I thought I had it down pat, so I let myself go to sleep. But anyways,
Fuck.
is there anything else that you might be able to think of with, well, we have, the fine folks listening, watching, paying attention, any of that?
We are on our quest to 2,000 followers on Facebook.
Mhm.
I believe we're sitting at 1,573
Yeah.
last I
And which is
checked.
still, like, I mean, we had a good jump last week and stuff, so, I mean,
Yeah.
like, you gotta we keep hitting a couple, 100, follower weeks. I mean, it ain't gonna take no time till we get there, so,
Right.
just
So
again, I'll thank everybody for following along, passing along the word, seeing us in public, the people that we have, like, really connected with, obviously, there's great people. I mean, some of the greatest people that we have in our lives right now. And like to be able to say that over something, like motorcycles and stuff like that is very honoring to me. And, you know, it's been a crazy couple of years, and I'm just happy everybody's riding it with me and continue to ride this with me. Cause I mean, I never thought of this as small. I think this is, if I haven't said it once before, we are Wild Stallions. We are the show in the Midwest that asked the East and the West to bring their best. So if you haven't heard of us before, check us out. Give us a follow, give us a like, and
share our shit.
share. But I mean, that's all I have for our fine audience and you tonight. Um, Really, I mean, we're gonna be here next Wednesday again. Same wild time, same wild stallions channel. And if you'd like, reach out to us in the time period. Uh I do believe um we will probably end up having our first guest next week if
I was going to
that's the way it
say,
should be, because we're already talking that we were going to have builders on here giving us updates on how they were doing so far, and I don't know, we just haven't been able to get it all in place and stuff like that. And I mean, like, we still have a gentleman to talk to, Ben Matthews out of, the Ohio area to really, kick that dead horse one more time on our Cincinnati trip.
think we
And
got our
then,
glitches figured out. So
yeah,
that should
so I
be
mean, we should be able to
good.
bring him on. We got, we have, people that we talked to, we were in, Milwaukee there, so we could bring anybody on there too, but we also, for what we do, we need to start getting these, builders on and start telling their stories. I mean, that's what we run, that's what we do, we highlight these builders, so, I mean, we start bringing them on, start having them tell their stories on top of ours, really show, you know, what we're doing and where they've gotten in the process from the beginning of the year till where we are now on their way to the finale, which, if I haven't said it, I think we need to say it again. August 29th, 2026, downtown Owasso. Come and vote for your favorite. We'll have all of our builders there And our show is popular vote. So your vote is counted in the builders count. And anybody can be there to see that count, and anybody can count it along with me. I don't want this to be an all day thing, but if it took all goddamn day to make sure that nobody can say that we didn't count it correctly, we would do that. So come on out, throw your vote in for your favorite motorcycle you've been following along since the beginning of the Wild Stallions motorcycle build season 4 and show some support.
Yep.
Keep your local motorcycle scene alive.
True that.
Anything else that you can think of? I think I've said that once, but we're in a Midwest goodbye right now. So,
Right. No, no. I think we covered it, Bob.
all right, everybody, check back with us. We'll keep updating you on our adventures, and we'll keep updating on these builders we got going on. Until then, be excellent to each other.